Welcome to a brand new lecture. So today we will be clearing some basic doubts regarding the superposition theorem and the basic network theorem. So today we'll be discussing the two theorems, the superposition theorem and the Thevenin theorem. So what exactly? Let's study first the superposition theorem. Superposition position theorem. So where it is applicable and which networks it is applicable, what exactly it is. Suppose you are having more than two sources or three sources in a network, different type of sources in a network, be it a current source, voltage source. So what you can do is that you can take the effect of each source across a branch you want to get a current or a resistor, so that you can take individual effects of these sources, and then you can retotal the all the other effects from these each sources and calculate the resulting effect. So why it is used, what is the basics of this, is that why the superposition method is used. See, firstly, what it does is that it is a method that allows us to determine the current through or the voltage across any resistor or branch in a network. So suppose we have a complicated mesh or a network, so that the advantage of using this approach instead of either using mesh analysis or nodal analysis is that it see, unlike in that case you need to calculate the determinants or use matrix algebra to analyze a given circuit, whereas in this theorem you can, you can study this theorem. The total current through or voltage across a resistor or branch may be determined by summing the effects due to each independent source. So the total the current the total current through or a voltage across a branch across a branch uh, or a resistor or a resistor or a resistor may be determined by summing the effects of, basically what, by summing the uh, effects of each individual individual source taken at a time or separately. Means what? Separately, how do you take an individual source? Suppose you are having, so in order to take an individual source, what you need to do is that, suppose you have to take only a current source. So in order to apply a superposition theorem, what you have to do, it is necessary to remove all sources other than the one source that is being examined. So for example, in order to, like, you want a voltage source to be neglected and you have to remove and make it zero. So what you will do, if you are removing the voltage source, so you have to replace it with a simple wire. That means instead of voltage source you have to short with the wire. So a voltage source, we replace it with a short circuit, since the voltage across the short circuit is 0 volts. Whereas in a current source, if you don't want a current to flow, what you do, you simply open it. A current source is zeroed by replacing it with an open circuit. So taking separately means voltage source is replaced by a short circuit when current source is analyzed. Okay, current source is analyzed, and your and source current source is open circuited open circuited when voltage source is analyzed. Voltage source is analyzed. Now let's take an example to understand this phenomena, how it happens. One more thing is that only applicable to where it is applicable. It is applicable to linear bilateral networks. Bilateral networks, not applicable in power calculations, because power I square r, it is a non-linear, so hence it's not applicable to power calculations. Now let's take an example to see how we go about the superposition theorem. So let's see this circuit, and we'll better visualize it. Let's go for this circuit and let's see how it reflects. So I am taking a circuit over here. So this is my voltage source over here. Okay, this is let this voltage source be equal to 16 volts. So another resistance over here. I have connected a resistance, then one more resistance. Okay, and I have a current source. Current direction is here. Current source. So this is my current source. I is 5 milliamperes. Okay, this is 16 volt. This is R1. Let this be R2. Okay, R1 is around 2.4 kilo ohms. R2 is around 1.6 kilo ohms. And I have my I. Then again I have one more R. Okay, and I have one more voltage source over here. So I have this E1, this is E2, and let this be R3, and this is equal to 1.6 kilo ohm. Now using superposition theorem, determine the voltage drop across the resistor R2. So determine determine the voltage drop across R2. So I suggest, let this is the voltage drop that he wants, and the voltage drop across R2 is needed. So this is VR2. Basically he needs this drop over here. So in order to calculate this with superposition theorem, what we have to do, we have to take each individual source separately. Suppose let's take E1 first. Now in order to take E1, current source here we have to open, here we have to short. Short means replace this with a simple wire. So the circuit will get modified. When we are considering the first case, E1 will be there 16 volt. Okay, then R2 as it is, it would be there. Okay, this 2.4, it would be there. What happens to I1? So it is open circuited. So the circuit here is open because we are only considering the effect of only E1. Similarly R3 would be as it is. Okay, R3, and what happens to E2? It would be short circuited. So this would be short circuited. So this is considering case 1 only effect of E1. So here E1 is 16 volt as it is, we will write. Okay, the rest things will be there. 2.4 kilo ohms, this is 1.6 kilo ohms, and this is as it is 1.6 kilo ohms. Now here we are interested to get the voltage across this. So this is the VR2. Okay, now VR2. So how do we calculate VR2 over there? It is very simple, anybody can calculate. You can apply a basically a voltage divider network, or you can clearly see, I'll show you a technique. See, this is the node A. Okay, A, and see till here A. Until unless there is no element, the this node label will not change. A. Okay, and A is still here. See, there is no element now here, same it is following, but another element comes here, B. So this becomes B. Okay, because it is across the resistor second terminal. So this B will remain as it is, B, and this is over here A. Okay, so this element is A, B, and this B will remain till here, B. Okay, B over here. So this is A till here, but there is a voltage also C. So here it would be C. So you can clearly see the resistances. See this 1.6 AB. Okay, and this 1.6 AB. Okay, so these two are in parallel, 1.6 and 1.6. Suppose you have a confusion, how do you see that the two resistances are parallel? If both the sides are connected, what does that mean? Both the sides are connected. This is the resistance. So you have knotted, okay, with a thread here. Okay, and see both the sides here, a thread A you have knotted, same A would be there. This there is a down thread B, so both the sides are connected with the upper side and the lower side, but both the sides are connected in resistance. Then we say it is parallel. We say it is parallel. For series, only one side has to be knotted. See, for series, only one side. So this combination would be a series combination. See here, this is A. Okay, this till here A. Now this is B. Okay, this is B, and this side is A only. So you can see only there is no the resistance over here. This is A. Okay, so not both sides are connected, only a single side is connected here. So the point of interconnection is single side, so this is series. Whereas for parallel you should have both the sides connected. So here you can clearly see that 1.6 and 1.6 are in parallel combination. So I'll reduce the slide size. So you can see 1.6 and 1.6 are in parallel combination. So you can redraw this network. This is 16 volt and 1.6, 1.6. See any network like who has the same resistance and is connected in parallel, so divide it by 2. So for example 4 ohm and 4 ohm are in parallel, so the net resistance would be 2 ohm. So you know from your basic physics. Okay, so this is your 1.6 ohm, so it would become zero point 0.8. So now you are clear that the thing is that it will become your zero point 0.8 because R2 and R3 are in parallel. So you are still reduced with this network. E1 is equal to 16 volt. Okay, and this combination will become 2.4 and this parallel combination becomes zero point 0.8. So this becomes 2.4 kilo ohms and this is zero point 0.8 ohm. Okay, so zero point 0.8 ohm basically. So the net voltage over here would be equal to, now you need this voltage over here, this VR2. So you will apply the voltage divider rule. Voltage in series gets divided, so VR2 would be equal to zero point 0.8. Okay, divided by zero point 0.8 divided by 2.4 plus zero point 0.8 into 16. Okay, into 16. So this value will get around, this value you are getting around VR2 value will be getting around, if you will be calculating here, would be around my one important thing that you have to take into consideration, like while you are calculating the values over here, whether the polarity of this voltage which you have to take into consideration, that you have to see the VR2 value would be, if you are taking the value like here, this is minus, this is plus. Okay, and this is basically plus minus. So basically if you are taking this rise in potential value like here, so you are seeing the VR2 is falling. So this is from positive to negative. So this is in the falling mode, so hence a negative symbol will come over here. So VR2, if you calculate, will become minus 4 volts. So this was the effect of E1 that you saw. Now from the very same problem over here, now let's analyze the effect of the current source. Now if you are taking the current source, so what will happen to the network? So if you are taking the current source, your E1 will be short circuited, E2 will be short circuited, only thing the current source will remain. So for that, E1 is short circuited. Okay, then you have this 24. Okay, then you have this again one point this voltage, that VR2, that you have to calculate. So this is 2.4, this is 1.6, and now you are left with your current source, that is your 5 milliamps. Okay, and you have another resistance over there that you have to take into account and short circuit the rest. So short circuit the rest. So you have, now you see clearly here, this point is A. Okay, so a point will remain till here, A point. Okay, okay, till here also A point. Now the point will start to change. Here there is B point, because there is B point, B point, B point, B point. So you see AB. Okay, so AB, R1 is connected AB, R2 is connected AB. Okay, R3 is connected AB. So you can clearly write the R total is R1 parallel R2 parallel R3. So when you are seeing all the three resistances are connected in parallel, and you can calculate the value. So you can calculate it simply 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3, and you will get this value to be zero point 0.6 kilo ohms after we calculate. So once you get the total resistance is zero point 0.6 kilo ohms, so you can simply say that the total resistance is zero point 0.6 kilo ohm. Okay, so now the resulting voltage across R2, so the drop across R2 would be the current into the voltage. So VR2 would be into I into R equivalent. So I is equal to zero point 0.5, whereas this value you got equal to how much? This value you got equal to zero point 0.6 kilo ohm. So this is 6 kilo ohm. So 6 kilo, zero point 0.6 kilo ohm would mean how much? 0.6 kilo in ohms, it would be 6 by 10 into 1000. It means 600 into how much, so into 600 into 5 milliamperes. So into 5 into 10 power minus 3. So this will be around 3000 into 10 power minus 3. So this 10 power minus 3 will go. So this becomes around 3 volts. So now you have seen the effect of, so here in the problem we have seen the effect of effect of uh, E1. So when you are taking E1, your voltage through VR2 is minus 4 volt. When you are taking I, the voltage VR2 is 3 volt. Now you have to take the E2. So when you will take the E2, what will happen to your circuit? You have to short circuit the voltage sources over here. So you are shorting the voltage sources over here. Even you have to short the, okay, something. Uh, so even you have to short. I'll redraw the network. Okay. So even you short. So the network would be redrawn. So once you are redrawing the network, so even you have shorted. Again, the resistance is there. You have this R2. Okay. You have this R1. So even you have basically shorted. Okay. Short circuit, because now you have to take the effect of the E2. You have to take effect of E2. So this would be R1. This would be R2 as it is. So this is 2.4 kilo ohm. This is 1.6 kilo ohm. And then you have this as open circuit. So you have to only take the effect of, this is 32 volts. 32 volts. So now you have to take this effect, 32 volts. And this is R3 is equal to 1.6 kilo ohms. Now if you see here in this network, again you apply the same thing. Here is A, okay, till here A, because A same na, there is no change. If there is a resistance, then only a point will change. Here also, okay, if there is a resistance only, there here also A, okay, but this point is B, okay, but this point is not B because there is a voltage source. Now you cannot say these are all in parallel. This point will become C. Okay, this is the C point. So this is the C point. Now you can see A and C. Okay, here down A and C, and on the up there A and C. So A and C are the common points. So that means R1 and R2 are in parallel. So R1 parallel to R2. So you can replace this R1 by 2.4 and 1.6 are in parallel. So 1 by 2.4 plus 1 by 1.6. So you can calculate, or you can also write R1 into R2, R1 plus R2. So that you have studied in elementary physics. So you can put the values, get the value. So your value of this R total would be around 0.96 kilo ohm. So now the circuit further reduces. So you can like draw like this. Okay. So this circuit will get reduced like this, 0.96 kilo instead of R1 and R2, you have over here 0.96 kilo ohm. Okay, and this is open circuit as it is. Okay, 0.96 kilo ohm, and here you have R3 and you have the voltage source. So the voltage source here is 32 volt. So you have this as 0.96, and you have this as your 1.6 kilo ohm, 1.6 kilo ohm. So you want the voltage VR2 across this. So this again you apply series voltage divider at this point. So you can write your VR2 would be equal to 32 volt into 0.96 divided by 0.96 plus point sorry 1.6, 1.6. So this total value, if you calculate, you will get around 12 volts. You will get around 12 volts. Now you have the effect of even you have I, you have E2 also, you have 12 volts. Now the superposition will state the value of VR2. This is VR2 because of this. So the value of VR2 now you can write from the superposition theorem. Value of VR2 would be the summation of the results from individual sources, individual sources. So the individual sources you have now, the VR2 would be -4 plus 3 plus 12. So this comes around 15 minus this is 11 volts. So this is the value of by using the super. Otherwise also you can calculate using mesh analysis and nodal analysis, but I have used this theorem so that it makes very easy understanding, so that you can learn this thing. Now let's come to the point and let's start the Thevenin's theorem. So what does Thevenin theorem state? So and where it is applicable, and what are the process in applying Thevenin theorem? So as far as the Thevenin theorem is concerned, so it is again applied to a linear bilateral network. Okay, so a resistor is a linear and a bilateral network. So bilateral network means a network where current can flow in both the directions. See, if you consider a diode is a unilateral element, because current polarity is only in one direction, whereas a resistance you can flow in both the directions. So any so Thevenin, if you want a statement for a Thevenin theorem, see, I will state the Thevenin theorem. So this is Thevenin's theorem. Any linear bilateral network. So we'll write down any linear bilateral lateral network. Any linear bilateral network may be reduced. So you can write any linear bilateral network may be reduced to a simplified to a simplified two terminal circuit, to a simplified two terminal circuit, to a simplified two terminal circuit consisting consisting of a single consists of a single voltage source voltage source in series with a single resistor with a single resistor with a single resistor so basically what it does mean is that you have a different type of network that is you have a network that consists of many sources, variable sources. Okay, but in Thevenin's theorem what you can do is that if you want to Thévenize any circuit, that is called applying the Thevenin's theorem. So what you have to do is that you have to uh, first, in order to calculate the Thevenin theorem, let's see how do we go about the Thevenin theorem and the other factors. So first of all, you have to identify and remove the load from the circuit. Suppose you have a network that is connected and which has certain amount of load to the network. Let's suppose we have a network like this, hmm, which has 20 volt. Okay, and this is my resistance, and this is a current, that is a dependent current. So like this, so let this be 2 amperes, and here there is a load. Okay, this is the load, RL load. So this is 16 ohms. So in order to apply the Thevenin theorem, what you have to do is there are steps to apply the Thevenin theorem. So step number one would be here. Step one would be step one. Identify and remove the load from the circuit. First, you have to identify where is the load. Identify and remove load from circuit. So this is primarily you have to identify. Now in this case, if you have to identify this is the load, so you have to remove this. If you have to redraw this network, so here you have the network would look like this when you remove the load. So this is the terminal, so this is the point A and B. From here, this point A and B, you remove the load. So this is how the Thevenin theorem starts up. So point number two, once you have done this, label the resulting two terminals. Okay, so which already I have done. Label the resulting two terminals two terminals as A and B, or X and Y, whatever you prefer. See here, I have removed and labeled these two terminals. So once you have labeled this two terminals, then what you have to do, set all sources in the circuit to zero. The third thing is to set all sources. So now all sources in the network. Now the step number three means if you have to make it zero, I have already told you have to short circuit it. Here you have to short circuit any voltage source. So you'll be left with all sources to zero, means current source you have to open circuit. Okay, so you are left with A and B. So across A and B you have only this left. This value is around 24 ohms. Okay, so now you have only 24. The third step, because you have, if you follow step by step, you will not make any mistake. So the third step is to set all sources, all sources in the circuit, in the circuit to zero. Okay, that would mean voltage source Vs short circuit and current source open circuit. So that means this. Okay, the number fourth step, what would be the number fourth step is Determine the Thevenin equivalent resistance by calculating the resistance seen between terminals A and B. It may be necessary to redraw the circuit to simplify this step. So now you have to determine determine the Thevenin equivalent equivalent Thevenin equivalent resistance R Thevenin. Now, in this case, you see there is only one source. So, R Thevenin naturally comes out to be 24 ohm. Now, suppose that was not the case. Okay, there had been many resistances. Okay, so in that case, the R Thevenin. See, suppose there were instead here also there was one resistance. For instance, like I'll draw one more resistance over here apart from RL. So and this was 12 ohm. So in that case, R Thevenin would be 24 and 12. Again, you have to see this is A, this point is B. Okay, this point is B, this is A and A. So A and B. So this would have been 24 parallel with 12 R Thevenin in that case, not 24. If the circuit was like this, okay. So you have seen points. So the point number 5 would be to after you have done all this thing, you have determined so you have to go for now once you have calculated R Thevenin, now replace the sources. Now whatever sources like current source you removed or the voltage source you removed, so that is in the step 3. So you replace the sources sources removed in step 3. Replace the sources removed in step 3 and determine the open circuit voltage between the terminals and and sorry, interrupt this. Okay, and and determine the open circuit voltage between, okay, terminals. Here there's no space, terminals A and B. Suppose terminals whatever we have now. Point number 6 would be, suppose if the circuit has more than one source, then you need to apply the superposition theorem. If the circuit has more than one source, then we need to apply we need to apply superposition theorem. Superposition theorem. So let's see. Okay, position theorem. So in this case, it is necessary to determine the open circuit voltage due to each source separately and then determine the combined effect. So the resulting open circuit voltage will be the value of Thevenin voltage. So whatever the voltage would be that you are getting the open circuit voltage, huh, that would be the Thevenin voltage. Now the step number 7 is to draw the Thevenin equivalent circuit using the resistance. Draw Thevenin Thevenin equivalent circuit using the resistance determined using the resistance determined in step 4. In step 4, okay, in step 4, and voltage calculated in step 5. For example, there we saw that the problem number one that I had put over there. There we saw that the Thevenin voltage which we got is, in the very beginning I had given a simple network like this. I had drawn 24 volt, okay, 20 volt A and B, RL I had drawn. So let's draw this circuit and let's analyze the Thevenin theorem with this circuit. So we'll analyze it in a better manner. So let's have this Thevenin theorem, and how to, let's have the circuit. E is equal to 20 volts, okay. You have R1 as 24 ohms. This is your R1, okay. Then you have your current, that is current is equal to 2 amps, okay. And you have load resistance RL. So whatever steps we have to apply over here, RL, this is equal to 16 ohms. So first, if we go back to our steps, so we'll identify and remove load from the circuit. So let's remove the load from the circuit, okay. Remove the load from the circuit means remove this load from the circuit. So we have removed RL. hmm? We have removed the load from, now our circuit looks like this. So once we have removed the load from the circuit, then the step number 2 states label the circuit, label these points A and B, okay. So we can write X and Y, anything, set, then set all sources in circuit to 0. So all sources in the circuit you need to set to 0. Now all sources in the circuit, if you need to set to 0 means you have to remove this, okay. By removing this means you have to short circuit this. So you need to short circuit this. So you have to here short circuit this, okay. And you need to remove this. You have to open circuit this. So you can open circuit this. So this has been open circuited. So this you will open circuit. So this is open circuit, okay. So now the step number 4, determine the Thevenin equivalent resistance. Now determine the resistance. So what resistance you can see from A and B? Only 24 ohms. So R Thevenin is equal to 24 ohm, okay. Now step number 5, replace the sources removed in step 3 and determine the open circuit voltage between the terminals A and B. Now once you achieve at this, so you have to replace the voltage source. Now you have to replace all the sources in the network and go for the open circuit voltage. So when you are replacing the voltages, so you will get at again, you will get again the circuit like this. You have this as 20 volts. 20 volts, R Thevenin would be 24, and this would be 2 amps. So this would be 2 amps. And open circuit voltage means these terminals you have to open, A and B. Now here you have to find this voltage VAB. So VAB. So here this is 24, okay. So this is minus plus, okay. And this is across this there would be fall, okay. Remember, this is voltage rise. Voltage rise is equal to voltage fall in any network. So what is the voltage rise and what is the voltage fall in, or algebraic sum of voltage rise and voltage fall would be 0. So in this network, if you have to see, so you have to see, you have your, if you write 20 is equal to 24 into 2, okay. So is this uh, sorry, plus VAB, okay. So you have to, like, if you need to calculate this network, so you have to calculate what you are interested to calculate. You are interested to in calculating VAB. So VAB over here. So VAB over here. So how you calculate VAB? So you are interested to calculate the value of VAB. So you are interested in this value VAB. So VAB value, you will see that your VAB value is equal to your voltage, algebraic sum of voltage rise. See here it is 20, okay, minus 24 into 2. So VAB value will give you minus 28 volts. So this basically minus 28 volts means the direction, the polarity which we had taken was reverse. So the voltage cannot be negative. So basically the voltage you got VAB is 28 volts. So now you have to replace. So when you are replacing the Thevenin, so it would be 28 volts here. It would be 28 volts, okay, and here it would be 28 volts in combination with your which one, in combination with your 24 ohm resistance. So you can clearly write that your Thevenin circuit would be 28 volt and 24 ohm, and again you can replace your 16 ohm resistance. Now if you have to calculate the current IL, so you can simply IL is equal to 28 divided by 24 plus 16, that is 28 by 40, that is around point 0.7 amps. Okay, so and that direction is in the upward direction. So you have to see. Now I will give you one more problem so that you will do on your own. If you are getting any doubt, we'll see in the next video. So let's see, I'll give you the hints. Here you have a voltage source, okay, E is equal to 15 volt. Hmm. You have 6 ohm, okay, 6 ohm R1 is equal to 6 ohm. You have 5 ampere, 5 milliampere current source, 5 milliampere current source, okay. Then you have your resistance, another resistance. There in that case there was only one resistance, R2 is equal to 2 kilo ohm, and then you have load resistance here. Now the load, it's a variable load resistance, it varies between 0 to 5 kilo ohm. Now the first step would be to remove this. Once you remove this, then what you have to do, short circuit this, open circuit this. So 6 and 12 ohm will come in parallel, 6 and 2 will come in parallel. So here the step 1 is to label, okay, remove, okay, and step 2 is labeling. In step 3, short circuit voltage source, open circuit current source. Now when you are short circuiting voltage, so you will be left with this. See here you have open circuited it and short circuited other things, and this is A and B over here because you have removed the load, and this is short circuit here. This is 6 ohm, this is 12 ohm. So this point is A, this point is A, this point is B, this point is B. So you can see AB 12 ohm and AB 6 ohm. So the total R Thevenin would be 6 parallel to 12. So this will come around 6 by 1.5 kilo ohm. So this is 1.5 kilo ohm. Now again what you have to do is that once you are done with this, then you have to go for the open, you have to go for the Thevenin voltage. But now here there are two sources, although several methods are possible. So what is that? First we have to calculate the VAB1. So VAB1 we have to apply here. Again, what we have to do in this problem, the next step is we have to go for the VAB1. So when we are going for the VAB1, so what we will do is we'll re-substitute back the voltage source. So here we have this E is equal to 15 volts, okay. Then this is your 6 ohm, okay, and this is open circuit. So now you have to take up, you are applying the superposition theorem, okay. And then this is your again 12 ohm, and this is the open circuit voltage here, plus minus. So this is your 2 sorry 2 what is 2 kilo ohm and 6 kilo ohm. Oh, there was a problem, please, in the previous slide. So it was not 12, it was 2 kilo ohm. So this was 6 parallel to 2, that's why 12, okay. So 6 into 2, 12, 6 parallel to 2. 6 twos are 12. 12 divided by 8. That is 1.5. That's why I was wondering some mistake I've done. Okay. So this thing you have keep in mind the numerical values. So the main concept is that you have to understand the concept. So you have to take the calculations also important the examination point of view. So here what you do is that now you get this VAB1. So in order to get VAB1 from the circuit here, so VAB1 you have to go. So you have to apply the superposition theorem. So here, yeah, VAB1. So VAB here it is VAB. So across this, so you have to write. So VAB1 would be 2 voltage divided into 2 plus 6 into 15. So this is the voltage divider. Okay. So this you will get around plus 3.75. Similarly, for the second step, you will short circuit the current source and so you'll short circuit the voltage source and open circuit the current source. So you'll short here, okay, and you left with 6 ohm, okay, and here it is plus 5 milliamperes, okay. Then here you have your resistance again. R2 resistance is there. R2 it is plus minus 2 kilo ohm, and you here you want plus here you want VAB2. Now you want VAB2. Now in order to get VAB2 here we have to analyze the circuit again. So when we will be analyzing this circuit, so can we go for so in this figure the contribution is due to the 5 milliampere source. So we will calculate the VAB2. VAB2 would be the total resistance due to 2 kilo ohm and 6 kilo ohm would be a parallel combination. Here you see this is A, this is A because it's short circuited. This A, this is A. Okay, so this is A. Huh? So the resistance, this terminal is B, A and B. Between A and B, we have 6 kilo ohm. Okay, and now there is no element over here B. So A and B, A and B. So A and B here is 2 kilo ohm. So the total resistance are total here would be parallel combination of 2 and 6. So your current, your voltage VAB2 would be equal to I into 2 parallel 6. So I, you know the value of I, it is given in the network. The value of I is 5 milliamperes. So this would be nothing but 2 into 6 divided by 2 plus 6, that is 8 into 5 milliamperes. Now if you calculate, these are in kilo ohms, you substitute, you will get the value of plus 7.5 volts. So you got 3.75 plus 7.5 volts. So total E Thevenin would be VAB1 plus VAB2. So this happens to be 3.75, 3.75 plus your 7.5. This would be 11.25, 11.25. So your final network will look like final Thevenin network. Now you have to draw the final Thevenin network. So your final Thevenin network would look like this. E Thevenin you calculated, that is 11.25. Your R Thevenin is there. R Thevenin is equal to 1.5 kilo ohms. Now this is your variable resistance. RL is equal to 0 to 5 kilo ohms. Now if you want to check the value of IL, that would be E Thevenin divided by R Thevenin plus RL. So this is basically the superposition theorem and the Thevenin's theorem. So please keep practicing and you'll be understanding this in a much better way. So thank you very much for now. Please like, share and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Thank you very much.